Hi everyone, it's Pav. Today we're going to talk about 3 reasons to sell. Why I want to talk about this is because we have talked quite a little bit about buying, how to identify good sets and how to invest and things like that, but actually selling is a big part of investing because if you don't sell, you don't realize your gain. So if you're only buying, then you're only doing half of investing, honestly. Of course, the time to sell and when to sell and how to sell is very important. So actually the reason why I wanted to talk about this as well. Here are the few things that we are going to go through today. Top 3 reasons, I'm just going to spell it out for you. But these are actually my opinion, my ways of doing it. Of course, your situation may be different, so take this as just a reference. Don't take it as a Bible. First one for me was, of course, to take profit and also at the same time reduce risk of my position, cut down on my position, reducing some risk. The second one is to flip for the reason of reducing cost. I'm not selling the whole of my position. I don't sell all of it, so I'm just flipping some of it to cut down on the cost. The third one is really to let go of some of the low grade items. Either I bought something, later on I realized it's actually not a very good item to hold, or I changed my mind or things like that. I'm going to show you all this with a real life example, and I'm just going to close it with a quick summary. So the first one, we're going to just jump right into this. It's actually Powder and Fate, Pokemon Center, ETB. These are all my actual transactions. I have sold at the moment about 9 of them. My position, the total position I had was 26, so I sold 9. And honestly, the reason is because the price has been going up so much and I wanted to reduce because I don't know whether you know how much space 26 ETB actually takes. Even though they are loose, I just find whatever corner and storage I can find and to store them as carefully as I can. But these things actually they rip very easily. I'm not sure whether it actually got damaged or from the shipping. I mean, the corner got dinged and things like that. I think maybe one even have a little bit of rip and the plastic, so it's really not easy to keep them. So this is actually a pretty big headache. People keep saying about Pokemon Center ETB is a good investment. Yes, but only if you are lucky. It doesn't get damaged on the way to your home, and also you are able to keep them nice and safe and you have enough space to store them. And I had 26, I let go of 9 at a really good price. Some of them, actually most of them, is like double the price of what I paid, so it's a good thing. And I managed to reduce my cost basis. So of course, after I sold them, and this price is from Pokédata. In Singapore, it's almost impossible to sell at this price. This is American dollar, so if you are talking about Singapore dollar, it's like $400. I don't think anybody is going to buy it at $400 in Singapore at the moment. If you can sell it at 300, I think it's already a very good price. So I sold it a little bit earlier, so it's like 200 something, 200 plus, and I managed to cut my cost to $28 per piece. Right now it's almost zero cost basis, so basically the 17 pieces that I got left is costing about $28 per piece, considering the profit I made from selling the 9 pieces. So yeah, that's one thing that you can do if you have a big position in something and you want to reduce the risk of your position, or you just want to reduce the space they are taking up. This is something that you can consider doing. Of course, you can also just take the profit and invest them in something else, more recent set that you think is going to do well. You can do that as well. This is another example. This is one of the rare time I actually got into singles, because honestly I like this card, I like this promo card, and so I was asking my usual supplier, the shop that I typically go to. I asked them, do you still have this promo? The shop doesn't have it, but he was asking for me, asking around the regulars, and actually one of them responded and he was willing to let go of 3 pieces for me. So I managed to get them at pretty good price, $70 American dollar, at pretty much right at the peak of the hype. And I'm not sure whether you remember this, the hype was close to about a month ago. So I got them at a pretty good price, $70, and I picked the best quality ones and I sent it for grading. It's not back yet. I think it's probably going to take 2 months to come back to me. And then I sold the other 2 pieces, and surprisingly I managed to sell them at a pretty high price, which is actually close to market. I say maybe slightly less than market. So I bought them at $70 and I sold the 2 pieces for $109 each. So actually, if you are good at math, you will realize that I actually made a profit from selling the 2 pieces. The 2 pieces I sold cost $218, and the 3 pieces I bought only costed me, $210. So I made about $7.50. So basically, the third or the best, piece that I sent for grading is practically free. So this is something you could do. So it's like a little bit like a flip, but it's basically not really flipping the whole thing. And because I really wanted to keep a piece of this, I want one for grading, but I managed to sell the other 2 that I do not want to keep. So yeah, and I'm not a single person. Of course, I'm married. Singles as in the single card. I don't play with this. I don't like to hold a big position in this for the purpose of investing or speculation. But some of the cards that I like, things like this, I honestly love the design of this card. And if you have seen it up close, the texture is actually amazing. So I think this card is going to do well in the long run. I got it for free technically, so there's nothing could go wrong, right? The second reason is to flip to reduce cost. So I think I've mentioned it a few times. This works only in the bull market, honestly, because in the bull market, during release, the price is very, very high, and most people are just trying to lay their hand on wherever they can get some products. So what happened was, during release, I got a case from my supplier at slightly below MSRP in Singapore, and I sold them at close to market price, $270 per piece. I sold 2 pieces of them. So I still have 4 booster box left with a much reduced cost. So if you see on the screen, the average cost per piece right now is 85 USD, so it's very, 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 very low. But I only have 4 pieces left, but that's fine. Again, this only works in the bull market. And of course, if you have access to distribution, then you can do this, or you manage to have a good relationship with your supplier. They are willing to let you have some products at a low price. You can do this, but otherwise, it's honestly not easy. I think this is a great time to make use of something like this. If you happen to get your hand on some of these boxes, I mean the upcoming releases, you can consider doing this. And I think I have one more example. Yeah, like the white flare and the black bolt, I got them not at MSRP, slightly above. Similarly, right on release, usually this is when you can still do it. In Singapore, I said it quite a few times, ETB is really hard to come by, especially at a low price. So on release date, actually, the price here is very expensive. It's 105, 113, 111. I managed to sell them, and I got them at $78. So with that, I managed to cut my cost down to $38, $37 per piece for the last 5 pieces that I kept. So I kept 5 of the white flare and 5 of the black bolt to make 5 sets. So you can see here, I got actually 1 case each, $78, and I'm left with half of it, but my cost is like half of what I paid them for by doing some work. Yeah, but I do not regret that, especially seeing how the price has been going down since release. So this, again, it works in a bull market like this, where everyone really want the best and the newest and the shiniest thing at release. They are willing to pay a high price. So the third one is just low grade items. This one, I call them low grade because in terms of investment potential in the long term, this will not do. Like for example, on the screen, Paradox Rift ETB, I do not think they will do as well as Booster Box. But the reason I have them is because I was actually just wandering into my usual supplier shop, and this is one of the things that he has in his store, and he has stock. Yeah, so and then I was thinking, the price is not too bad, and then I just buy a case, and almost immediately after that I regretted, because after I put it into my store, I was thinking, this is taking a very big space. Pretty much a month or the second month after that, I was already trying to think about, I think I should get rid of this. Of course, I didn't lose money. I bought it at, if you look at the screen, $58.76. And I managed to sell them all at about $60. So slightly, it's about the same cost price. So I don't lose money. I don't really make anything at all, but at least I managed to liquidate it. I managed to get back some of the capital and put it into something else that may do better. I think I have another example. It's this one, Paldean Fate Premium Collection. You may think that Paldean Fate, yeah, Paldean Fate packs are going quite well. Yes, that's true. But in my mind, because I already have the PCTB, I have quite a few of them. So in terms of the position in Paldean Fates, I think I have enough. And this, if you have not seen it before, it is really big, huge, I would say. I have 3 cases of this. Same thing. Right after I got it, I was thinking, this is taking way too much space in my store. I don't have a huge space. We are in Singapore. I don't have a landed property. I just want to get rid of them. So I only made like $5 per piece. It doesn't matter. At least I got rid of them. I feel so much better. The air feels better in my home. Yeah, I got back the capital. I just put it into something else. Yeah, so I think those are the few things I wanted to share. Of course, there are a lot more examples you may have, but for me, I don't sell them until I feel that I really need, especially you will see that in the example I shared, the only booster boxes I actually sold was really a quick flip, 1 or 2 pieces to cut down on the cost if I don't get it at a good price. Honestly, if I can get them at a good price on release, I don't even open up the case. I will just keep the whole thing. Like if I got it from last year, like my Surging Spark, even my 10 Pro Forces, I haven't sold any at all unless I find that I feel the price is right. Surging Spark, same thing. I have 38 booster boxes. I haven't sold a single one of them, even though if I sell them now, it's almost like double the price that I paid from the past. But I don't think there's a need to do it because it's not taking a lot of space and it's stored nicely in the case. There's no need for me to do that. But in summary, I think there are a few reasons, at least for me. For you, it may be a little bit different, but I think there's no harm taking reference from other people and see if it works for you. So for me, the summary is honestly, it doesn't hurt taking profit. Just make a little bit of profit here and there. Really doesn't hurt. Don't let other people tell you that, you're supposed to invest while you're selling them. This will do well, even better than you selling them right now. You should hold them. I think everybody's situation is a little bit different. Like for me, space is a big thing. If I find that it's probably not going to do very well, I have other things, other play that I can put my money in, then I won't hesitate selling them. Second point is really learn how to sell, because for me, it was quite a big experience because I have not sell many of these things. So if you realize, most of my selling started only in the last 6 months. So I have sold quite a bit at the moment, and it's still a learning experience. I sold them mostly through Facebook group, so mostly there, and it's a learning curve at the beginning, but right now I'm getting a little bit more comfortable, and I have experience in sales in my previous job as well, so not too bad. But for others, I think if you have not tried it before, you should, because when it comes time to really sell the bulk of your position, you really want to cash in on some of your investment, then you at least need some experience and you need some reputation so that other people know that you are for real, you're selling authentic stuff, you have track record, they have dealt with you before, then they are more comfortable buying from you. So yeah, learn to sell and start doing it, even if it's small little items, sell them. And the third one is really make a plan and stick to it. This one I learned from experience. So like the third one, I was talking about low grade items. That is low grade for me, because as compared to other product, I think the rest are a little bit better. So I should have made a plan, and I should, more importantly, stick to my plan. But sometimes when you go into a shop and you were thinking, I actually want to spend some money here and there, and then you're looking for things to buy, then you ended up buying something that it's not that nice. It happens a lot, I believe, at least for me. But right now I'm trying to, as much as I can, stick to the plan. I mean, I try not to buy bulk items that I think will not do very well in the long term. If I'm really going to spend some money, I'll rather spend it on, loose packs that I think will do pretty well, provided the price is not too high. Blister pack, sleeve boosters, even just some sleeves and top loader from the shop. That it's just to show some support sometimes, right? To spend money. Rather than spending on items big and bulky and take up quite a bit of money, and then you have to liquidate it a little bit later. I'd rather spend on some smaller items to just show support. Yeah, I hope it helps. This video is I've been thinking about doing this for a while. In the future, I may share a little bit more about selling, maybe in a little bit more details. If you find this helpful, feel free to subscribe. I think this is probably the first time I've said it. Yeah, there are feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you think it helps you. Right, see you in the next one.